Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very Sochi. Not sure if it's going to be rain later, maybe being it in the race or in qualifying, but it's pretty dark out there at the moment. Bit of a different one tonight. No Devon tonight, unfortunately, thanks to load shedding. So just me for now. So hopefully, the guy's power can come on. It's quicker than we hope, and he might still be able to join you in the comms box later on. A couple of guys also might join later, also as a result of load shedding. They're not able to join qualifying, so maybe the grid might increase a little bit later. But for now, we at least got 15 drivers on the grid, which is still not a bad turnout considering most of the guys are experiencing load shedding. And thank you there, Robs. Rob's just confirming we got a dry race. There we go. There's my co-commentator. He's on the stream. So he's still with us, just not on this side. So maybe he can share some comments there while watching the stream. And hopefully that power comes on sooner and when he can be in here. Right, so just basically getting things started here. A couple of cars already out. Just want to get our usual information here. Of course, our map. Right. And the usual on me as well. No car noises here in Q1. But nothing new. It's been the case all season so far. Round 5 already. Of course, we're still round 3 Mexico, which we pretty much have to redo after that whole shenanigans, crazy night, whatever went wrong there with safety car glitches. So that round, of course, will be rerun at the end of the season. So for now, we continue with the original calendar, and we'll come back to the Mexico race at the end of the season. Yep, Devon, you said it. No sound again. Nothing unusual. I think I'm kind of used to it by now. Q1 on my side is quiet. I haven't had sound in Q1 from the track since the start of the season. So hopefully something Codemasters can sort out going forward. I know you had once we had no sound in Q1, but otherwise you had sound majority of the time, so weird. But anyway, at least we got a picture. We can still see what's going on there. Of course, riding here with a judge. One of the guys who went out early, getting the lap and just get a better feel for the track. See, Boinky's also on an outlap, not Fernando as well. And of course, there's Springbok Gamers also. Force, of course, yeah, Force. I think, yeah, Force was also not going to make it. Also had issues with load shedding. But I know late afternoon the load shedding status changed. So maybe that's what brought Force into play again. So, but yeah, we have Force on the grid. Of course, him and Matt, and that's the team, of course, who's leading the championship at the moment. Renault, kind of looking like a runaway thing for Renault, a steady margin, and if they're going to continue with that pace, I mean, it's only round 5 tonight, with a race, of course, still to be rerun. Technically, only, well, this is the 4th race if you go the amount of races, but calendar-wise, round 5, so. Unless someone come up with some sort of strategy to beat the Renaults, it's pretty much it's starting to look like one-way traffic. I know it's still early days, but it's gonna take some real team effort to stop the Renault boys at the moment. And good evening, Mrs. Judge. Welcome. Nice to see you again. 2 nights in a row. And just for you, there's your man. Riding on board here with Judgy again. Coming around for final few corners to then complete his lap, and we'll see what time he puts on. Of course, good example, you don't need to be fast, you don't need to be competitive, you just do it for the enjoyment because you love a sport, you love a game, and that's one of the things I like about Judge. Doesn't matter, he still do the game and he do it his way. Doesn't matter what other people say, he's gonna do this game the way he wanted to do it, being it assist or no assist. Of course, at the moment he's driving with no assists. 137.2 Wes on the 136. Funny enough to see a couple of guys already on medium tyres in Q1. Unless, of course, they've got the extra set of mediums, depending on what tyre choice they selected, being it a more balanced or more harder tyre. Because normally if you go balanced, it's more soft tyres than mediums. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Because a couple of guys were in front on mediums, I expect them to go on softs, expect them to go on mediums in Q2. No, Devon, by the looks of it, no. Ferrari and chassis, no. Staff, Devon is on the stream, yeah, but not in the comms box, thanks to Eskom. Hopefully he can get power way before this race is over, so we can still get some comms from him. The Gav Peak is out there as well. See Chen is still in the pits as well as RGDV. Vina out, 2 laps already, so there was some invalidated laps, and Judge goes slightly faster now, 136.7, and Gav Peak do a 131.8. First person break into the 131s. Of course, this is a track that he feels very confident with. And there's a couple of other guys as well who's very confident about this track. Expect some good battles tonight. And already it's going to start in the qualifying session, especially Q3 for that pole shootout. Judge just getting away. Judge is doing what Judge do best. Get far out of the other car's way. There's no way you're going to run into the Judge unless you purposely run into him. Oh, Devon, that's a low blow. But of course, referring to last night. Whoa, big moment there for Gav. Talk about Gav. Too much of a corner there, and of course in the lap as a result. But in the process, he almost put it into the barrier. How did he, Staff? Because yes, I was in a party chat with him earlier. He did mention, yeah, tell Gav about that flatbed. Yeah, knowing Wazzy, yeah, so he did go ahead with it. Vina now 3 laps, still battling to get a, and of course teammate there to Staffy. Staffy already retired as always. Do 1 lap and that's it. What's the point? All 15 cars in any way will go through to the next session, to be honest. No one really need to push at this stage. There's only 15 cars in Q1 and all 15 will make it through. Because Staffy, the clever one, spotting it very early, saving the car for the next session to come. Vino finding it really tough at the moment. He's riding here a little bit longer with him, see if he can get together. Of course, again, like I just said, he's really just a dress rehearsal as anybody, was all of them actually will go through. So just for him to get a feel for the track. Especially if you were not able to do any practice of some sorts when you want to use this, just to get that feel for it. RGDV also be an outlap. See Matt also having a bit of a tough time to get some lap times on the board. Chen still to go out. Looks like Vino, just briefly there, looks like purple second sector there, so hopefully in for a good lap. Is it just me, or does Vino and Judge have very similar helmet designs? Well, the design is only the same, but the color is almost the same as well. Judge, of course, in the pits now we won't be able to. Vino, yeah, and that's going to be a valid lap, and he goes 6. Running here with our current championship leader, Matt, coming to the end of sector 2. No purple, but then again it is Hamilton we're talking about. Or Lewis Middleton as he was dubbed tonight. He's not good. No, man, Steph, don't give up so early. Not now, man. So I wonder where's that Boinkies out, because he gave me some sort of a dare, but I will not proceed with that. Because as much as he said, yeah, most of the people are Afrikaans here, I also know most of my audience are English speaking, so we will not do a stream just in pure Afrikaans. So no Boinkies, it's a crappy idea. So Chen still in the pit. Of course, yes. I just reminded myself. Funny enough, I was actually the guy who reminded Chen of it. Chen serving a quality ban, of course. Technically speaking, he should have retired, but keeping to the ban that he received, he's not going out on track and sitting anytime. Boink is now also done. Then again, most of the guys will start retiring now because, as I said, all of them are through. Chen must just retire early in the next session just to make sure that he doesn't get classified any higher than 15th. If someone listens who can get a message to Chen, just please remind him you need to retire. No, Staffy, you're right. He will be pulled through to Q2, all 15 cars, but that's why I'm saying he just needs to retire at the start of Q2 so that he can stay in 15th place. Someone just needs to remind him that he needs to retire. Boinkie starting with his stofpraat strategy, I see already. Buttering people's egos. And when he's going to sneak it at the last moment. Part of a sandbagging strategy, as most of them do. Staff, you know, Moos. You know how that one works. It's every week it's the same story. Maracas cock. Okay, I think someone told Chen to retire, but he must just make sure you do it in the next session as well. And Mr. Judge diving out at the last moment, want to have another run. This can only be to get the feel for track. Here we go, the helmet design with him and Vino is definitely the same. Just the color slightly different, but both have that greenish yellow in. Vino's got a bit of blue on the side where Judge looks like probably that maroonish color of his that he likes. He must like green together. Of course, watch when that new logo of his go live as well. Won't say too much about that, everybody once it's finished. RDV another invalidated lap. Staff, don't look at it too much. It's something that I picked up, and Devon also, what we picked up in the last couple of weeks, that lap counts and stuff on the site, you can't really rely on that. Even during the race, it shows you like 0 laps. Like you in Mexico, for argument's sake, it showed you were on brand new tires, meantime you were in it already a few laps. Last week it did the same, so I'm not really counting on that anymore because it's inaccurate. Yeah, not the Fox, Steph, don't do that to me. There's only 2 minutes left when there will be sound. Unfortunately, this is the same old story every week. Q1, for some reason, there is no car sounds on my side. So just hang in there for 2 more minutes when we will be back to sounds. Kom Robbie, sit 'n bietjie laptyd op man. Steph, if you continue like that, I'm going to get you in the comms box. You can be our sound effects guy. Rob with a purple sector. Steph, you called it. Purple first sector. That speaks to exactly what you said. And then he goes invalidated because he's probably heard us and now he's trying to be spiteful. Kom Rob, man. Just over 1.5 minutes to go. Most of the guys already retired. A couple of guys in the pits. Like I said, no real reason to go out. Judgy did another lap. Or I'll stick to the name I gave him last night. Mr. Shorty P. The guys, of course, who's on the social chat will know why. Ooh. See, Matt had some issues again. Same story as last week. Funny enough, because he crashed out last week in qualifying as well. But I think there might be more to that. I made a joke with him tonight. I said he must start at the back of it again. I want to see a proper race off of a stream. See him overtake people. And I'm not sure, by the looks of that, he may have taken me serious. Crashed out, so he can start at the back. Did a couple of laps just to get a feel for the track and then he crashed out. Look, it can be by accident, but I'm just saying, it's possible that he did it on purpose. Never know. Jeff found the stream and by accident, so we're going to have a long one tonight. Jeff is going to take over. But then again, as long as Jeff is here without his crayons, it will be okay. Just waiting for the judge and Springbok Gamer. The two guys in the pits just need to retire, well, 3 guys in the pits, then this will be done. Springbok Gamer over the start-finish line, so he's done. Now, you're true that, Steph. You want a challenge, so you know what? A different track also tonight, tighter. Overtaking here is going to be a bit more difficult compared to last week. So yeah, well, nothing wrong with challenging yourself, and he's got the ability. And we've seen other people as well coming from the back of the grid to come all the way and win. Because I commented on it before, I commented on it tonight again. But just go back to Russia, because coincidentally we had Russia last season as well. And there was not Sebastian and not Kimi right in front on the first lap. Bit of a hiccup by not Kimi. Now Sebastian running into him, and they both ended up running on the back of the grid for some time. And in the end, those two finished in the top 3, of course, not Kimi winning the race. So it also means, just because some guys, if things start going pear-shaped, they run into barriers on purpose or rage quit, whatever it may be. But those guys just stuck in there, changed wings, and just drove the wheels of those cars. And in the end, they got into, in solid places first to win a race all the way from the back. So what I'm saying is, it is possible, it's done before, it can be done again. And of course, there's always the opportunity when a safety car comes out. Of course, one thing you also notice on the stream, if you look at the back of these cars, it looks like the engines can pop at any moment. It looks like smoke coming out of the cars. But watching the race at Silverstone this past weekend, the heat gaze coming out from the engines, obviously that is what they're trying to mimic here. Although on the game it looks more like an engine that wants to pop. It looks more smoky than heat haze, of course. But yeah, that's what they're trying to mimic. Just waiting for Wes, Jean and not Fernando to retire, because everyone else is done. Or until that 46 seconds runs out. Come Steph, get those guys to retire so we can move on. Because Springbok Gamer and Judge's cars just cruising. AI just keep on cruising around. Guys sitting in the pits, not retiring and just delaying time there. I think going forward we need to consider some penalties there. Come on, guys. Staff want to get on with it. Thank you. Of course, nothing to home about it. First stage, still early days. Just with dress rehearsal pretty much out of the way. RZDV there, and of course Chen just serving that penalty. RZDV no time in the end. Matter pretty much for casualty, although I said all 15. He will not be going through because that was a true crash. So 14 drivers in to go through. Chen then just retire at the start of the session so that he doesn't go any higher without, because otherwise it kind of defeats the purpose of that penalty. Right, there we go, Staff. Sound is back. Now you don't need to do any sounds of your own. Still overcast, but we already have confirmation it's going to be a dry race, so it's just a bit overcast in qualifying. And Vermerk is on its way out. Of course, RZDV. First time he's going to go out quicker, well, much earlier compared to what he did in Q1. But also not the only guy out, a couple of guys deciding to go out early. Of course, there we got Not Sebastian. Staffy, surprise, surprise, always one. There we go, thank you. Somebody got the message to Chen. Chen retired. Let's see if RZDV can drop those bloody cement bags and get somewhere. Vino also going out now. So got Wes out. Of course, 4 drivers to be eliminated after this session, so Chen will be one of them, retiring without setting a time, so 3 more guys to retire with him. As only the top 10, of course, will make it through to Q. Still got both McLarens, we got both Haas, and we of course got both Loris and both Alfa Romeos. This time also Judge holding back, not going out early. And not Kimi's on his way out. Position, interesting one. I would say Gaff Peak versus Not Sebastian versus Not Kimi. If Matt Hamilton was in the mix, I would have also put him in that mix, of course. Because Matt's got the pace also to challenge for pole position, but with him out, it's pretty much Not Sebastian, Not Kimi, and Gaff Peak. Also not having a Nismax at the moment. Nismax, if all goes well, will just miss qualifying and join for the race. Devin, if you're listening, any further news on that fire wave that you spoke about earlier today? Force and Judge still, Gaff Peak is on his way out. Pink car and a yellow helmet. Interesting combination. Thanks, Davey. Judge also on his way out, followed by Not Sebastian. No, I mean, sorry, not Fernando. Oh wow, decent time there on the medium, so 132.2 by not Sebastian, but Steffi 134 on mediums, and RJDV goes fast as a 132.0. But surely again that's kind of like a sandbagging lap because there's not much difference between those mediums and softs. Sean just behind not Sebastian, but he's on soft. Of course this is just to set the tyre that they want to start the race on. Not Kimi also there. As you can see, a couple of guys going for a different strategy with tyres. Boinky's coming in after invalidated lap. RZV going slowly. He definitely backed off. Getting out of the way of Gavpeak, and in the meantime looks like he might have impeded one of the McLaren's. Jean is these. Not sure if Jean got caught out by him slowing down so much. Not give me a 132.3, so not much in it yet in the front at the moment. But a 134 will not be safe. So everybody in the low 132 should be safe. Of course, we'll go through to the next session. Gavpico 131.7. Gav like Russia, but he doesn't do vodka, so wow, that's different. Normally Russia and vodka is synonymous. Just under 9 minutes to go. Pretty much more than half of the field still to set sometimes. Of course, Boinky's back. Pits. Vino also went back into the pits. As I say, that Boinky is coming out now again. Staffy invalidated lap there. He's back in the pits as well. Gavpeak invalidated lap as well, so probably also back on his way to the pit. Force coming around and he puts it in fifth for now, 132.3 as well. Boinky's out lap still, not Fernando in the pits. Nismax has joined, there we go. He did manage to get in with plenty of time still left. Yeah, Gavpeak is definitely coming back in. He's going very slow, and of course, already as we saw earlier, invalidated lap. Unless, of course, he's already back to do another one. But again, that 131 is sufficient to go through to the next session. So why would you want to risk the car? But then again, it is Gavpeak. Everything Gavpeak do does not necessarily make sense. Brilliant driver, also previous championship winner. But again, you need to wait to see on the night which Gavpeak beats up. Yeah, Voss also coming back in. But Fernando's now on his out lap, so it's Vino, Boinky's on a hot lap. RGDV retired from the session, so he's happy with what he did. That's enough, and that should be enough. A 132.0. Those that 134, 134, 136. That's the guys that's basically in danger at the moment. Which one you talking about? You're talking about those Renault's brake ducts. Couple of guys still in the pits, no movement. We know on his hot lap. Nando's going to come around now to start his hot lap. Talking about real life death, of course that situation is still not resolved. Still ongoing. But I don't understand how you find somebody and when you say no, you can leave the car for the rest of the season. The fact that you find him says something is wrong, but if you happy for them to leave it as it is when they haven't done that wrong, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword there. Gatpick of course happy with that lap he did, and so he should be. Oh, and Vino at the last moment invalidates his lap. Of course, strict corner cutting. It's almost like some of the tracks are even more strict on this game. Some of the guys might have gotten away with some of the corners in previous versions, but in this one it's like it's extra strict. Nando keeps it clean. Okay, Vino in the pits again. Come around final corner and 134.6. He's currently in the drop zone, so he has to go again. Just under 3.5 minutes to go now. Lewis improves to 8th place, or 132.9, but that's going to be close. Judge in the pits, not sure if he's going to go out again. Just under 3 minutes to go. Yeah, he's on his way out again. See if he can maybe snatch something yet for last moment to get into Q3. Kimina also done. Pino pretty much out on his almost immediately. You have to, because time is pretty much up. There's no more time. Come Pino, now or never. No, but I can consider your comment. If you do make a comment, I will take it under advisement, because you might see something I won't. So yes, I actually will appreciate the input when it comes to that diff. On the outlap. Oh, this is no enough time to come around to do an actual hot lap. It's too far away. That's chasing Vino basically. Also 131.8 as well, so Force also in the 131s. Still going, not sure why you want to risk it, especially this late. So Staffy retired, so he is definitely out. Chen also out. At the moment the Judge and Vino sits in the drop zone. No, Boinkies actually will have enough time, so he's coming around now the final corner. He's started hard laps, he's fine, he will have enough time. Oh, and Vino now retired, so I think Vino might have crashed out just pushing too hard. So Vino, Chen and Staffy out, so one more space available there in the drop zone. The moment occupied by the Judge. Can he do something about it? Session time officially over. Final corner for the Judge. No, and Judge unfortunately do not improve his lap time. Well, position I must say. He did go slightly faster than earlier, but still then 12th. So Staffy, Judge, Chen and Vino, the guys eliminated from the session. Top 10 of course going through to that pole shootout. For a couple of guys to finish their laps and of course hit the retirement button. Well, hit retire, not retirement. I think he's still young enough. A safety car driver, unless it's some weird stuff that we saw in Mexico maybe. But Mylander had, yeah, he had the final save that day. I don't care what you can hear or not can hear, you deaf in anyway, so. I'm not sure why it's deaf, because it's fine now. I can hear him now. But things that's different in this game on the stream compared to previous versions, so I'm not sure if that's one of the things. Now, like I say, Steph, I understand your sound is max, but I don't know, some things are not the same. Display being its sound, yeah, it's not what we had in 2019, to be honest. Right, just again waiting for a couple of late retirements. Sprimo Game and West to hit the retire button, unless of course we're going to have to wait for that timer to run out. No, staff party settings are definitely so that it broadcasts all sound. So it's weird that you can't hear the cars. Right, okay, so cool. Thanks for the confirmation that you can hear me. Don't want to repeat of what we had on, what was it, the podcast? Right, so some people still not worried to hit the retire button, so I do apologize for that. We could have already moved on. Right, just confirmation of your top 10 there, and Staffy, Judge, Chen and Vino, the guys eliminated from the session. Now of course the real fun and games, but pole position of course extra 6 points, and it gives you the opportunity to start right in front. But I'm not sure if right in front is where you want to be, because yes, you can have a good pull away, but guys who don't know how to brake, like certain orange cars, you just need somebody who doesn't know how to brake in arriving with you in that first corner. Yeah, game over. Yeah, Devin, look, it's not a bad call. I did say not Sebastian, Kimi and Gav pick for the pole, because if Matt Hamilton was around, it definitely would have been a 4-horse race for that pole position. Right, again overcast, but as we know already, it's remaining dry. Who's going to go out first? Of course, it's a Renault. Renault actually beaten there by that Alfa Romeo of not Fernando. Sorry, not Sebastian. Not Sebastian going out early. So not Sebastian and Vos actually getting it on. Do not want to wait. Ooh, wow. Massive corner cut. But again, of course, it's the out lap. It's just to get the lap completed as soon as possible. You don't want to waste too much time out there. Because the more time you can save like that, the more you have actually to push for pole. And this is actually something that I started seeing with more and more drivers, regardless which league. Where if it's an invalidated lap or out lap or in lap, they do that. Just to make the lap a little bit shorter. Of course, the quicker they can finish a lap, the quicker they can get back to the pits and refuel and put on new boots when need to. Well, Kimi also out there. Fernando, Wes and John, now Springbok Gamers, sorry, still in the pits. Which Power Ranger? Ah, Devon, you tell me. Oh, so Staff says pretty much, okay, fair enough. One on PC, one on phone, and that's what's happening, okay. Yeah, but it's actually weird. For different softwares and stuff, it should be the same, but anyway, yeah. Let us not get complicated. Just under 9.5 to go. Still waiting for lap time to come in. To give us some sort of benchmark of what we can expect. We had Gafpick and Force breaking into the 131 the previous session. See what can Kimi do? Muna still of the opinion that's going to be not Sebastian. Our purple sector so far. Final corner. And a 131.4, so low 131, so pretty much on par there with the 131s. But this also of course is where all the sandbags and cement bags are taken off, and the track would have rubbed in by now and getting faster. So there we go, just doing what I said earlier, to get back to the pits as quickly as possible. Maverick, it's 15, but Nismax did join, so 16 cars. So if you are fine and you want to join, you're more than welcome to join the eSports Open. Just tell me which team you want to represent. Red Bull is open if you want to do the same as last week. Oh, Devin, sorry staff, Devin count better than you. 16, Nismax did join. We started with 15, now it's Nismax joined. And if we can get Maverick, it will be 17. Matt, I see you listen to me. One of the few people that listened to me when I lay down a challenge. Crashed on purpose just to start at the back so you can show them how you do from back to front. Back to front in like 0.00 whatever seconds. Yeah, to be honest, Maverick, yeah, I'm also surprised with the turnout after the Eskom stuff. A couple of guys that said they're going to be Eskom actually showed up. Nah, Matt, I know it was not on purpose, but yeah, still, you give us a show tonight, so that's all that matters, as long as you enjoy it. Because I actually found as well, the more the guys enjoy it, the better the result. A gaff with a 1:31.2. Lapse times are still dropping, but not much. And as I say that, here we go. Kimi 1:31.1. Devin, you want to rethink pole sitter? Forcing the pit. Not blinking yet. We got Mr. Sandbagger 2000 out there as well. Ooh, invalidated lap. Of course, he heard his name just now. Okay, Devon's still of the opinion. He's not changing. Still backing his man. Ooh. And just as I say that, we cut to him and he picked up front wing damage. Still over 5 minutes ago, so he's still got enough time to do another run. Of course, even if you do have power with Eskom and load shedding, it also affects internet connections and mobile connections. Of course, those guys that's on 3G and so forth. The cell towers don't have power, the signal is absolutely shite. Well, sorry for you, Muna. Oh, sorry, Devon. Muna had no DHL sign there. This is Russia. DHL is not there. Not coming into the pit. But I do understand Gavin is aware of a flatbed waiting for his car. So you think he's going to keep it out of the barriers? Couple of guys in the pits, only the two on outlaps at the moment, and we got Springbok Game. We got both McLarens in Q3, and of course both Alphas. Last week, of course, the only time when, so far, of course, for this season at least, the only time that both Alfa Romeos were not in the top 10, and we also got both Haas cars there. One of them, of course, on his way out. Yeah, no, Devin, you can't rule out that pink Merc. But the pink one still looks better than the black one. But that black one still has too many sandbags around it. On his way out again. Just a little over 3 minutes to go. So now with all the sandbagging and everything done, so who will be the pole sitter? Can one of them break into the mid to high 150s? And if so, who will it be? I think next season we put Steph in a pink Merc, because he probably can achieve podiums in the pink car. But we can't put not Kimi into the pink car because it's not going to be a car to race. Well, not to race with. Of course, we all know how not Kimi is about pink. Right, not Sebastian still to make a move again. Gaspik is on his way out. Kimi is currently on track. Looks like both McLarens on their way out as well. Yep. It looks like the sandbags on that Merc didn't fall off completely as yet. Where's the little... wow, that's a bit of a gap there. 2 seconds, almost 2.5. Surely that was just like a banker lap, full speed. I have to wait and see. Okay, not Kimi starting another hard lap. Oh, Gavpik behind the Merc. Gavpik don't know really about backing off. Can he actually do it this time? Because he's not going to get past the Merc, and the last thing you want is to mess up his lap or have some cars in front of him who can slow him down. Not Sebastian started another hard lap. Gavpik must just be careful to back off too far. 20 seconds left, and he needs to finish, cross the start-finish line in time. Coming around the final corner now, when he's going to have to give it his all. Taking a lot of corner there. Oh, Vos got invalidated lap, so he's not going to get another run. Time is officially over. We're coming into the pits. Vos qualifying is done. Boink is in the final sector. And Boinky's bells out of it as well. Into the pit he comes. Not Kimi coming around the final corners. Can he improve on that lap time of his? And he does. He's the first guy into the 130, so 130.7. So we have somebody in the high 130s. Oh, and Gavpik goes slow. And he's invalidated lap, so Gavpik also done with qualifying. He's not going to improve. What cannot Sebastian do? Final few corners, last 2 in fact. Oh, huge corner cut and invalidated lap, so he's also not going to improve. So sorry, Devon, there goes your pole set prediction gone. But it was the 3 that we did. Well, the 3 that I say that's going to go for it. All 3 of them were in the end. Not Kimi, Gavpik, and not Sebastian in front. 1, 2, and 3. So the 3 suspects we pointed out. But in the end, not Kimi taking it. Not Fernando done. Just waiting in for West to retire when this is over. Well done, Mr. Kimi. Confirmation there of your top 10. Well done there to Kimi, of course. In the end, I won't say close, but yeah, I mean 5 tenths, and the only one into the 150s. But yeah, not Kimi taking pole, from Gavpik, from not Sebastian, and of course rest of the grid followed then the Vos in 4th, RZDV, Boinkies, Springbok Gamer, not Fernando, Jean, and Wes. Bring on the race. This is going to be an interesting one. Just waiting for everybody to finalize their strategies. course, as soon as somebody hits ready, the timer will start running down. So it will either be the timer running out, or basically once everybody finalizes their strategies, whichever occurs first, usually it's the timer. So yeah, sorry Devon, but in the end, like I say, they were all free. So we had three guys who could have taken pole, and I think in the end, not Sebastian, just pushing a little hard. The pressure were there from not Kimi. First and only guy to go into the 130s. Now, of course, it's just to get a good solid pull away, and we all know what happened last season on the pull away. Yes, Franna, indeed, it is Friday night. Wake up and smell the roses. Ja, weekend is uiteindelik hierso. Sou net beter gewees het as ons 'n bietjie alkie gehad het om hom af te was. Hooplik binnekort. To get going, finish the formation lap when we can start. Ja, sal nie seker goed vandag sien nie. Nee, Frans, nee. So we got both Kimi and not Sebastian on the medium, so only Gavpik on the softs, as well as Vos. So those who would want to make a good start so they can get ahead and hopefully use those softs to their advantage and get away. Because once Kimi and not Sebastian those mediums up to temperature, yeah, it's going to be a different story. RGDV also there on the soft, Boinkies running mediums. So quite a mixed grid. 7 of the guys are actually on the harder tires. Nee, Devon, Frans wil liever daai kromman van jou kyk. Frans was daar van die ooste af, hy baie meer klas, jy weet. Nismax, so that's weird. Nismax in a Merc. That's what happens when you join after the lobby has started. Whatever the first available car, of course, is what's coming your way if you join. And of course, at the top and the Merc being open, yeah, that's pretty much what he got. I don't recall ever seeing pretty much Red Bull before, and a couple of occasions a Ferrari, which is the case this season. So yeah, it's going to be it's going to take some getting used to. Nismax in a Merc. Nee, Devon. Dis waar jy moet antwoord op Franne se vraag. Ek's dom. Jy's te dom vanaand vir die mic. Ja, no, Eskom met some serious plans tonight for everybody. Here we go, watch for the lights. And it's a go. And we actually got a tremendous start. Gavpik with a bad start. Vos got a brilliant start as well. He's going to put Kimi under pressure. Not Sebastian also with a brilliant start. He's going to have to try to fight, but Vos is going to try to go on the outside. Oh, bit of contact there. Kimi had to go wobble, but managed to keep it together. Now it's Sebastian actually taking Vos on the inside. Oh, and Vos now running into the back there of not Kimi, losing a big piece of his wing. Oh, and the Vos retired as well. And it's a virtual safety car. If Vos actually, I don't know if he maybe got pushed from behind or if it was all part of that incident that cost him his wing. Maybe as he ran to the back of that Red Bull, lost control of the car and put it in the wall. Fortunately, we don't have a full detail, so we'll have to wait to see what comes from that. Frana, maak op jou mind. Fast left position. Of course, no need to hang around out on lap 1. Not sure what happened there, because from that angle we couldn't get the full engine and just saw him running in the back of a Red Bull, but a brilliant start there from on the mediums, got away. Gafpig having a terrible start because a couple of cars came past him, and then of course Dot Sebastian having a decent start, had a brilliant start as well, jumping all the way from 4th to 2nd, and then of course he tried to challenge, and Dot Sebastian actually keeping his line and took him on the inside, and I think Vos got a bit of surprise there by not Kimi taking him again, and then running out of space under the braking, and there was no other way but to running to the back, and that cost him his wing. So yeah, how it may be, it's that end of the story. We're back to full racing conditions again. Okay, and then again there's the lag as well, now showing Chen being 1st or 2nd, and yet Chen on the other side of the grid. Of course, we saw this last week as well, where it showed Springbok Gamer in front, where he's not in front. Boinkies in the pits. Wow, early stop. So there had to be some contact with someone or something as well there from on Boinkies' side. So Boinkies is at the back of the grid for now. I'm surprised he goes out on the soft. Would have expected a harder tyre, maybe a long strategy, but anyway. Lap 2 out of 53, not Sebastian leading, just over a second from not Kimi. Looks like Jean into 3rd. Gafpig still in 4th, RZDV still in 5th where he started, Vino into 6th, where he's running in 7th. Then a bit of a gap here, 2 seconds, not Fernando. Feeling the pressure from Nismax. Nismax having a brilliant start. Started 16th, currently running 9th. Showing that the Merc is a far better car than the Ferrari. In a Merc in already 7 places up, having good in that Merc. Going to put not Fernando under pressure, coming down the straight into the first corner, looking on the inside, and he's going to make the move. And he's through into, so he's going to chase after Wes. Falling off a little bit there from RTV, but as you can see, your top 5 now pretty much less than a second from each other. The 2 cars in front on the harder tyres, so they can go a lot further than these other guys. So the pressure very much on the guys with the softs, because the softs only last that long. You need to make something of it. Ooh, and Wes is out. Wes, oh, and a big spin there, car half in the way. Virtual safety car again. Of course, just if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that full safety car was turned off, because given our Mexico fiasco. So that's why you see VSC where you would normally see a full safety car. Lap 3 and retirement. And that obviously promotes Nismax into 7th. Chasing after Vino now. Then he pretty much have his teammate, well, teammate just for tonight in the car that he is, but his real teammate there at the moment currently in 12th. So one Renault gone, one Haas gone, other Renault running there in 10th at the moment. Also decent start, he also started with the back, up to 10th already. Only lap 4, long way to go still. Vino putting the Merc of RZDV under lots of pressure now. Just now about just making a calculated move and choosing the right time chance. Staffy picking up a penalty. Oh, RJDV taking too much corner. He took way too much corner there. And that's actually the same corner that Gaff Peak actually took exactly that in qualifying. Because I think Q2, when he just posted fastest time, did another lap, and he also went kind of like flying, almost over barriers. RGDV pretty much doing the same here in the race. Took too much of a corner, went flying, and almost ended up in the barriers on the other side of the track. Nee, Franne, ek is nie op 'n PS Pro nie. Is net die Pro wat meer as 720 kan doen. Maar dan kry jy mense wat minder as 720 stream. Nee, not hell. And now we actually had 3 guys with time penalty already. Vino fastest lap, he's now moving, chasing after Gaff Peak. Yeah. And John pretty much so it's basically now a freeway tussle for third place. Nismax pass RTV, Nismax into 6 now. He will obviously chase after these guys. He would love to have a piece of this action as well. Gaff Peak just taking a last moment, but there was nothing ever going to come from that, just showing Jean that he's there. Kimi just in and out of DRS range from Not Sebastian. But Not Sebastian not really pulling away either. Real battle at the moment here, the freeway touch third place. Gaff Peak's going to go on the outside of John. Can he make it? Yes, he does. Basically force John to go a little bit shallow into that corner. Had to brake to make sure he gets that corner, and that obviously would have killed a bit of momentum. Jean under serious pressure from Vino. And Vino will have DRS on the home straight. Is wide open, of course, coming into that first corner. So this should be a pretty straightforward move coming up soon. There we go, Vino already on the back, got a little big toe there. Jean is wide open, going to be inside early. Jean fighting. But Vino will have the inside line. This is going to be the bravest on the brakes. Vino, yeah. 3-second time penalty for Gaff Peak. So as much as Gaff Peak picks up places, that time penalties will come back to haunt him later. John losing 2 places in a matter of corners. But also guys putting him under pressure and positioning their cars at the right place into the corners. Gaff Peak now trying to chase after Kimi and Not Sebastian, still in front there. Ooh, 10 with a time penalty now. Ooh, Not Sebastian now. Those time penalties is what can make or break your race. Well, in most cases, break it. Not Sebastian also experienced last week. Matt making a bit of a slow move tonight. Up to 9th, but fact remains he's still made up a few places. Currently in 9th. Not Fernando, 3-second time penalty. A lot of guys did say penalty is going to be a lot tonight. Vino putting Gaff Peak under real pressure. Surely Vino will be able to make another move, same as before. We'll have DRS. Getting a bit of a toe on Gaff Peak, not gaining as quickly as he did on the previous lap on John, but now he is. Gaff Peak takes to the inside, sends Vino the long way around. Gaff Peak will have the inside, who's going to heel for each other. Oh, there's contact. But well put under control, because that was always going to end up in tears. None of the two wanted to heel for each other. Vino's through, he would now want to use these softs, putting the 2 guys in front on the mediums under pressure, because you only have that many laps you can do on the softs before you have to pit. Hello Yvette. Oh wow, I'm feeling very honored tonight, having Radio Girl and Yvette 2 nights in a row on 2 different streams. Die TNB Widows Club begin al hoe meer reality like. Nismax still keeping me in 6, but he is gaining. Gap now less than 2 seconds to Jean. Brilliant start. So far the biggest gain in positions from the start. All the way from 16th into 6th. Oh, Jean a bit deep there. But it's also a matter who can reserve their tyres better. And to, of course, take it further. Nismac's getting closer and closer. And of course there's the judge also on, not Fernando. Well, not Fernando on Judge. Judgy in front for now. But Fernando gaining a little bit. And then Staff of course at the back fighting Boinkies. Gap in front still pretty much the same. Then opening up, then closing again. Can it be seesaw like this for a while? Springbok Gamer now with another time penalty. Well, another time penalty, yet another time penalty for a driver. Only lap 8. Corners catching out a couple of guys. Gaffbeek battling to keep up with Vino, who's now in DRS range of not Kimi. Nismac as well within DRS from Jean. Nou, jy weet, that's all that Nismac needed. Jy moet hom meer uitvat vir dinge, dan is hy quali en dan kom hy terug en dan maak hy so. And speaking of which, Nismac now into 5th. He used the DRS weer on the back straight to his advantage. Nismac and Jean actually ran wide, allowing RJDV through as well. So Nismac's into 5th. And surely he can chase after the peak. Vino now he's going to have DRS, but so is Kimi, so Kimi can counter with his own DRS. Nee, Franna, ek dink sy sal weet wat Dirk van hoor. He taking to the inside, just fending off Vino. Oh, Vino going wide. Wasn't planning to back off very early. In the end, having to go wide to make sure he goes through. And now Springbok Gamer also passed his teammate. Jean going backwards. Not sure if the tyres or something with the car. He's not too happy. Maybe perhaps some front wing damage that affects with downforce. Ek weet nie, Dirk wil Facebook request van stalkers af aanvaar nie, Franna. Now freeway tussle for the lead pretty much. Gaffbeek over seconds behind them and then 2.5 further. Oh, and RJDV is out. Saw that one coming. Virtual safety car again, so no passing. Now not Kimi falling away to not Sebastian as a result of that. Nismac's also falling a bit back to Gaffbeek. Gaffbeek gaining. Just about keeping the speed right here. Because going too fast can result in a penalty. Of course, you have a certain split that you have to achieve. Oh, there we go. That's I'm talking about it. Springbok Gamer getting a drive-through for speeding under the VSC. Because you have a certain split that you have to achieve, and if you go too fast, that's what's going to happen. That's why the gaps change when the guys slow down, because just maintaining that speed is what they need to do. This makes 2.5. Can he get into up to the peak? Mac now into 7th, because he now just need to clear Jean and the race range, and then he can chase after the top 5. Ach nee man, Wian. As het nog qualifying was, as het anders saak, dan kon je nog hier ingesneak het. Damn it. Maar ja, Wian, next time. Of course, hoop maar net Eskom werk saam volgende Vrydag. Wel, jy weet, asseblief gooi dop, meer dop. Hoe meer daai jet fuel loop, hoe beter ry jy, so asseblief, hou hom hydrated. Kom, jy weet, ek maak staat op jou, hou hom hydrated. Just interesting how long these softs will last. And again, also depending who pushes their tires to the max. Because once you can look after the tires, can do a few more laps, and that can make a difference. Ooh, Gaffbeek another time penalty. So as it is now, just looking at current standing, still early, only 11 laps in, that's being the 11th. If you look at the time penalties, Nismax are already in front of Gaffbeek. Oh, and RJDV confirming he went into a wall. His worst nightmares finally came true. So I think the Merc got a free ride by that low bed of Wazi's. Gaffbeek just needs to be careful. He also got a free invite to ride that low bed. Akimi having DRS, just fending off Vino now. Nee, Rob, ek kan nie nou sê cheers nie, is nog vroeg. But cheers was a TV show. Wonder how long this is going to keep up. Something's going to give. Oh, and Vino had to need for brakes, otherwise you would run into the back of that Red Bull. That back of that Red Bull is quite hard. We saw already on lap 1. Kim is going to take to the inside again, sending Vino a long way out. And Vino just have to hit for brakes. It's not enough space, just ran out of track there at the end. So still a close battle here is here at the moment. This guy's not really getting away from each other, and actually Gaffbeek also managing to hold on to him. Nismax falling off a little bit. But of course, if he don't push his tires too much and he can get a little bit more out of his out of a tire life, he can put in another lap or two when these guys pit. And that's where he can actually make up his positions. Yes, okay, Fran, ek's nie 'n betting man nie, maar dankie. And of course, talk about penalties and positions as it is now. Not Kimi is actually in front of not Sebastian. This is of course where Devon comes in handy. Devon knows to spot those penalties and quickly jump in there and update. But if memory serves me, yet still definitely Kimi doesn't have a penalty as yet. And also not Nismax. I'm not sure about Vino, but not Sebastian and of course Gaffbeek have some penalties already. Still another 40 laps to go, of course, still after this. We are now going on the back with Red Bull again. And Red Bull, of course, is currently out of DRS, and Vino is in DRS, so might be a little bit easier next time round in the DRS zone. Jaji doing a very quiet but solid 8th place at the moment. Oh, and Trimbo game another time penalty for him as well. Now on this back straight via DRS open for Vino. Not Kimi keeping to the inside again, just knowing where to put that Red Bull. Just make the Alpha Tauri think. Of course, also will be a little bit hesitant just to push it a little too hard. Just back here, Springbok Gamer now getting closer and closer to the judge. Let's get back to the front. And Vino now gonna have a look. Not Kimi took to the inside, but he left the best of faintest of gaps, and Vino spotted it and he took to the far inside. And Vino lost a bit of momentum there, but for now, no, he's actually not in front. They're going to go side by side. And the in plate, no, that looked like the in plate was missing on Red Bull, but it's not. But Vino in the process got a 3-second time penalty. And Gavpik picks up another one as well. So as it is now, Kimi is still ahead of both Vino and Not Sebastian when it comes to penalties. But not Kimi is on the harder tyres, so he's still going to run further than Vino. And one also have to wonder how much life did Vino take out of his tyres trying to get past Not Kimi. And it's been several laps that he's been pushing. Gavpik just still there, around the 1.5 behind, not really gaining, but not dropping off too much either. Nesmax actually gained on Gavpik now. Gappy is just over 1 second. Kimi dropping off, not sure if he's maybe reserving some tyre life. Gavpik running a bit wide, as you can see there from that screenshot how close Nesmax is now to him. Gavpik now dropping off a bit, gap opening up to about 2 seconds, and as that happens, Nesmax is within DRS. Oh, and another 3-second time penalty, so Nesmax definitely ahead of Gavpik on penalty. Well, if you look at penalties and when that comes in. But importantly, Nesmax will now have DRS. You know, gaining now Not Sebastian, but he would want to because you need to make the most of those softs. Coming down to the back straight now. DRS surely for Nesmax. Can he use it? Open now, he's gaining. He's definitely got momentum, got the toe, go to the inside as Gavpik stays on the outside. And Nesmax is free into 4th. Nesmax having a dream race so far. Don't want to jinx him, but from 16th into 4th now. And he would now want to make use of this and get away from Gavpik chase after the top 4. Or top 3. He is for 4th at the moment. 13 drivers still remaining. Gavpik falling away a bit there to Nesmax. Will have DRS, but it's not going to help, just too far back at this stage. Vino fell back a little bit to Not Sebastian as well, so still no DRS range there. Wondering if Kimi is not just managing the gap and managing tyres, thinking long game here. Boinky is challenging Not Fernando there at the back. Gavpik another time penalty. Boinky now will have DRS. Also getting a bit of toe. Not Fernando, is he going to go to the inside? He was, but then went back out to give Boinky the inside line. So Boinky will fend him into the corner. And Boinky's got a very slow getaway. Not Fernando had a better getaway, but as the car in front was slow, he had to take evasive action to prevent damage to his front wing, as that would have happened if he ran into the back of that horse. So nicely done there. Oh, and Vino now with another time penalty. So as it is now, looking at penalties at the moment, not Kimi will be pretty much in first. Nismax, if I'm not mistaken, will be in second. But of course, we still need to get to the end of the race before that time penalties come into play. Not Kimi hanging on to Vino, Vino falling back to Not Sebastian. Gafpik now hanging on to Nismax, but not able to make a move. Ooh, looks like Staffy had a bit of a moment there. Yeah, he's coming into the pits, I think. Those tires of his, yeah. On Gafpik, another time penalty. Gafpik running a risk of getting into disqualification. Yeah, the disqualification windows is actually a possibility there for Gafpik. Because the way he's racking up penalties, a couple of guys behind him also basically leaped him already. Matt, of course, silently getting into 6, slowly but surely gaining. Vino gained a little bit there, Not Sebastian, not Kimi falling off. Pretty much close battle still in front. Of course, there's big gap, but he's not really making any progress or any gains on this match. Oh, and Not Fernando's out. And a VSC as well. So while that VSC, let's see if I can do something about the silence in the comms box. Let's see if the guy's open to the suggestion. Just bear with me a little bit. There we go, let's just see if we can get him in there. Of course, last night he was my co-commentator there at Sonic Simulation for the GT cars. Gafpik now dropping off to Nismax under the VSC. But Kimi to Vino as well, and Vino to Not Sebastian. So it's all about just managing that gap and maintaining that sector time or that split that you are given to maintain. Gafpik now gaining back again, so of course we'll just have to wait for this to go over and watch those times stabilizing. Because Gaff now right in the back of it, Merc. Might be that he's going too fast, but then again it can also be Nismax going a bit slower than him. And Springbok Gamer getting another drive-through penalty just like the previous VSC. Just going too fast under that VSC, and Gafpik now with a tremendous drive. Oh, Nismax thing to the inside, and Gafpik got caught out, and that is the end of Gafpik. Gafpik wanted to make a move here. Gafpik had a brilliant drive on the restart there, but Nismax thing to the inside, and Gafpik had to react to that, and reacted a little too much, and lost control of the car, and actually clipped the barrier, and see, he went into the other barrier and both wheels off, and that's the end of the peak. And welcome, Mr. Not Fernando.
Good evening. How are you?
No, I'm good, man. Thank you. How can I say welcome to the comms box? Thanks for joining.
Great stuff.
Do I dare ask what went wrong? Springbok Gamer just serving his drive-through.
Just a lapse of concentration at the wrong time.
And a tricky
A bit too
track
close
at
to
the
a wall
most.
for a lapse of concentration.
A very tricky track, and
But,
yeah, Gapik just went out as well. Lapse of concentration, as you say.
I was dropping back throughout the race. I had an incident like on lap 3 or so, and I just all by myself. I just went and had an incident with the wall and broke my wing. So I was just dropping back through the field because I was on mediums. The other guys were on softs, and my car was damaged. So I wasn't having too much fun, and I was trying to stretch these mediums with a broken wing to its actual strategy. So
Yeah.
that didn't
Of course,
quite work
little
out.
downforce doesn't help.
But at least, well, now I get to watch the race.
Yeah, Devin, unlike you, at least Jonathan joins me in the box.
There we go, Devin. Devin is the traitor.
Yeah, he blamed.
Doesn't matter what he blames. He's a traitor.
Was he just...
Now what have I done with
Yeah.
what have I done with my phone?
Kimi just battling to hold on to Vino, gap 2 seconds, but Vino in DRS range to not Sebastian. But surely top tires are close to drop off. And he locks up as well, that's also not going to help for tires.
Oh yes.
Just because,
I'm in
Devin, just
spectator mode
because
now.
we say so.
I forgot that I've got so much info. Oh, I'd love to have this info while I was driving. Like,
Yeah.
I'd love to know. Okay, that guy behind me. What tire is that? Not so easy when you're trying to spot it on the track.
Yvette, Devin is a true SSR man. Yvette, is jy seker daarvan? Jy sit jou hoop op 'n ou wat koffie maak by kraanwater, nie as dit 'n ketel uit nie.
Yeah, I've
Ooh,
never
Vino
quite
right
understood
in the
the
back
whole
of that Alpha.
tap water coffee obsession.
Jy weet ek hoop jy hou Nismax gehydrate. Not Sebastian just taking the inside line. Vino also doing a brilliant job. Oh, and actually, not Sebastian left the door open there. Slightness of gaps, and that was enough for Vino to sneak through. But can not Sebastian get back at him now in the DRS zone? Oh, Devin, don't
Savino
fool
in
yourself.
front now.
Nesmax with his first time penalty. Not Sebastian gaining surprisingly. Is he going to make a move? He is. Late, but he makes it and he pulls it off. Brilliant overtaking move here on the brakes. Oh, now Vino loses the back end. Not Sebastian just rattling his cage here a little bit there with that move. And he just got onto the accelerator a little too quick out of a corner, back end stepping out. And that allows not Kimi and Nismax to get past. Some brilliant driving from some of the guys tonight. Good move there,
Kimi
not
up to
Sebastian.
second.
I think
Luke
Vino
up
really
to third.
expected that comeback.
Dino recovering now in fourth, but he's got that Illuminous car to worry about. Also on a set of mediums, so those softs are going to be starting to go off, starting to drop off, and also that spin
That's it.
probably not going to be at the best temperature. So I think Matt can really close this gap, and if he can get it within the second,
Of
then,
course, the
then
way
we've
that
got DRS
spin would
to
have
contend
put,
with.
that extra way that tires would have got thanks to that spin. Matt also having a solid race into fifth, so the biggest climber so far definitely Nismax and then Matt.
Obviously,
Nismax
Nismax
13 places.
not participate in qualifying, so he started from the back. Unless there was no one disqualified, so Nismax started from the back. Made up the most positions.
Jy weet sê vir Dirk, hy hoef nie te worry nie, dis nie sy skuld. Gaff het net 'n brilliant drive uit die corner gehad. Toe probeer hy Dirk vat en Dirk het sy binnelyn gevat en Gaff moes te erg gereact en toe slap hy die barrier. Just telling, you weet because Dirk is just concerned about Gaff, but it wasn't the fault of his, it's just Gaff reacted to the moment and he just, call it overreact if you want, with a steering wheel and just too much movement and he couldn't get the car back under control. And not Kimi now also have his first time penalty, so all 4 guys in the top has got time penalties.
John has made a pit stop, he's out on a fresh set of mediums. New set of mediums for Jean in 6th. Then your top 5, they're all on the same tyres they started on. 22 lap old tyres. Your leaders on a set of mediums. They're really they're in the pound seat for this.
But there's already a huge gap between the top 5 and the rest of the field.
So
pretty much the top 5.
the
Who's going to be in the 5th? Who's going to be in 5th place when they come out? You know, once they done their stops. So yeah, no, see, moenie worry nie. It's just Gavin het net ook net te veel gecompensate op hy move.
It's interesting. The 1st, 2nd, and 5th appear to be on the same strategy.
Yep.
And then 3rd and 4th appear to be on the same strategy.
But how far can they take these softs? Vino not trying to make a movie on this, Max fending him off. And while these two fighting, he's just allowing Matt to get closer and closer.
It also allows those leaders on mediums to
pull away,
to just get away.
Yes.
Gap sitting at 1.5 seconds.
And this Max diving into the pit, so is Vino. So here we go with 2 softs going in. And that allows Matt to go to 1st.
Party chat together. So those leaders, they're in a party chat together, so they probably not taking each other on, and just there we go.
All 3 of them are in front of those mediums.
See, pressure on the AlphaTauri team.
Yvette sê vir hou baie Gaff en focus op driving. And now I'm hydrated.
The important stuff.
And this Max managing to get out ahead of Vino. Both the 2 of them now in mediums. 29 laps after this lap. 29 laps. So yeah, they can basically run till the end on these mediums. Possible.
I think a set of mediums, what, 30 something laps. So yeah, I think they can do. I think it's 33 laps if I remember from the practice. So
yes,
yeah, they should be able to go to the end on these. But
I think that's
also important how you're going to drive the car, especially in the beginning here when the tires are fresh. You need to look after these tires if you want them to. Back on planning to take them to their max. Got to look after them.
But of course, if you
have a very difficult last couple of laps.
What? I think they're going to go easily lap 30, 31, maybe 32 and then pit. But of course, what's going to count in their favor once they go onto the soft, they would have burned off already most of the fuel loads, so they would have had they will have a much better experience on the softs versus the guys who started on the soft. So the advantage is still the leaders pretty much.
Also have that chance at fastest lap if they've got the softs at the end there with a very light fuel load.
Correct.
See Matt's already, Kimi already picked up 6 points for the
brilliant
pole position.
Only going to the 130s.
Can he do it all? What is that? If you get the win, the fastest lap in the pole, that's 38 points, am I right?
Pretty much, because
how much is it for a win?
Yeah, you're correct,
points.
Because it's 30 for the win, plus win the 6 for the pole, plus that extra 2. And then of course, now think about it, is now you won't get the extra 3 because you don't have a teammate, and it's actually looking, they're just getting past they were just lapping, getting past the lap car. For a moment I almost thought he took not Sebastian on the outside, but no, they came past the lap car. So yeah, no, you're correct in saying 38 points. If it was that he had a teammate, it would have been an extra 3, then it would have been 41 points. But yeah, 38 is still possible.
Constructors Championship not getting much better for Racing Point. They were last in the Constructors going into this race. And
no points tonight.
Their only car has succumbed 200% distance, so there's no points tonight on offer.
Unless it's only one car, also no bonus points or free for having both cars, so yeah, absolutely 0 points tonight. Matt gaining a bit now, Kimi losing a little bit of ground to not Sebastian. Vino 136.1 on those fresh mediums. Just trying to get back at Max at the moment, 1.5 seconds behind between them.
So what teammates do we still have here? I think we've got two Alpha Tauris and 2 McLarens.
100%, 100% correct.
Yeah, I think that's it. Everyone else is on their own.
Ooh, not Sebastian, another 3-second penalty. So it's still advantage. It's still advantage Kimi if it goes like that to the end. Matter gaining little by little, just over 5 seconds now. Locking up there.
Yes, Max and Vino, they have obviously gotten rid of those softs. Mediums just a lap old. Now we watch the 3 in front. All have mediums, 25 laps old. Matt just a little adrift of your 2 leaders, 5 seconds down the road. Now how is he going to get closer? Maybe undercut, overcut? What is he going to try something?
Interesting. That is a good question. What is he going to try?
And then obviously first and second start to fight each other.
Ooh, and Vino now getting closer and closer to Nesmax.
That should just bring Matt up the road.
Again,
5.5 seconds.
I said it again. I said it earlier tonight. I'm going to say it again. It's just weird trying to put a Merc to Nesmax. It's so weird to drive on board a Merc and say Nesmax.
It's not right, is it?
No, it's not.
So used to seeing him in a red car.
Yes, and of course before in a Red Bull.
This is,
and yes, exactly.
Considering what his rig looks like, this is insulting.
Exactly.
My rig is also very Ferrari based,
ooh,
but at least I'm in an Alfa Romeo.
But manages to get in just out of a barrier. But now right in the back of his Merc.
Could have gone very badly there.
DRS zone coming up soon. Will Nesmax take to the inside line, fend off Vino. Vino really the guy on speed tonight. Really love his track by the looks of it. Didn't show much pace last week, but tonight he's on song. Couple of guys pitched up here in Russia being very comfortable with this track.
There's going to be nothing in it between these two because they got exactly the same compound tyre, exactly the same age.
Correct.
So I won't be surprised if these two tangle till the end of the race.
It's going to be an all-out brawl on track. And I don't foresee them stopping again. They don't need to.
Yeah, they don't need to, but if they battle here too much and really
take the life out of those tyres, yes. Here we go, Vino now getting a good drive.
Race, but there'll be a handful. He's got DRS down the straight, he's already in front before the corner. No question.
Because he had a good toe as well.
DRS into the second zone?
He had a good toe there as well to go with that DRS.
That one of those tracks that registers both, or is they're going to get DRS this time around?
No, Dirk will have DRS next time around.
I think it's in Canada.
But it will only be in the back straight there. But yeah, it's on Canada. Canada is one of those tracks. Canada and then
one of those tracks you get one line and it counts for 2 zones.
It's Canada and Australia's first and second DRS zone is like that.
Yeah, that's right. One of my favorites. Love it, love it, love it.
Favorites. Kimi gaining
One of my
again on
favourites.
Matt Sebastian, but Matt also gaining on Kimi. But the pit window is open for those guys in front. But I still think it's a little too early. They'll still probably going to go for lap 30, 31. Yvette, ek dink ek het 'n solution vir jou probleem. Vat net een van Bjorn se bottels, maak hom vol en dan druk jy hom daar in Nissie se mond. Dan kan jy 'n bietjie sit en rustig wees. Max now staying intact with Vino. So Roll's going to be reversed this time. Just need to stay in the DRS zone, especially coming down the start-finish straight. And get some good toe when he can return the favour on Vino. Not Kimi, meantime right back on that Alpha's gearbox.
Stop a second now. Ooh, Vino running wide. Not where you want to run wide.
And that just allows Nismax to stay in touch. Ooh, not Kimi and not Sebastian here. Ooh, and Staffy with a big spin.
Let's have a look. We can...
And not Sebastian diving into the pits. Yes, it is. Not Sebastian coming in. Kimi staying out. Kimi deciding to do at least another lap. Matt also going to do at least another lap.
I think this really comes down to
undercut, overcut.
Kimi.
What's happening?
Kimi's been having issues with tyre wear, and I don't think he thinks he can take those softs quite as far as Munna can. So
medium.
He might just do an extra lap or two on those mediums.
This makes just too far back. He's going to have DRS, but he's not close enough to make a move. Well, not Sebastian coming out, so not Sebastian and Vino will fight. And here comes not Sebastian in the inside. Oh, just like earlier. And this is pretty much a replay of what happened earlier when not Sebastian reclaimed first place from Vino. And Vino then got too hasty on the accelerator and spun.
Okay, now basically that was a crucial moment. Okay,
Correct.
That was a crucial moment. If he had come in basically in between these two, it would have been havoc.
It would have been
havoc. And it would have definitely slowed him down. And
he's got a soft tyre if you want to make use of it.
Kimi came out of the pits cleanly. He would have had the advantage, but luckily he dived into that corner. He knew it was now or never.
Nismax gained on Vino as a result of that. We'll have DRS now again.
Not Sebastian in third
Getting
place.
closer and closer to Vino. Can he now get real close and use it down the start-finish line? Not Kimi into the pits. Matt stayed out for another lap. Not Sebastian coming around. Just getting to the pit entry. Not Kimi is on his way. This is going to be close. Not Sebastian coming around for final corner. Not Kimi still in the pit lane. He's crossing that line now.
Let's have a look.
Not Sebastian.
Waiting for him to accelerate away, and there he goes.
Sebastian's
he accelerates away. He's got it. It came down to that turn one.
Oh, now not Kimi is going to come in between these two, or is he? No, he's going to come out behind for Merck.
Oh, no.
Oh, big break there for not Kimi. Nismax and Vino's through. Staying that lap longer.
There of the Merc.
I think that lap longer actually cost him there. Not Sebastian stopping the lap earlier, and he managed to clear both of them. He stopped a lap later, and he actually ended up behind both of them. Can that be a trouble signs for Matt now as well? Because Matt did an extra lap.
Matt's gone on the longest stint yet. Really depends what lap times he's doing.
If he's
going to be all important, he needs to come out in front of these two.
No, I believe he's going to be behind with not Kimi, even if he rejoins now. Not much of a gap there.
See now, this has seriously separated those two, the leaders,
Not Kimi
about
past
1.5
Nismax.
seconds apart.
Not Kimi into
throughout
fourth,
the
so he
race, and
will
now-
chase after Vino.
And now they have two cars in between them. So fortunes have changed, and it could have come down to one extra lap
Matt,
on mediums.
Matt still staying out. Still no intention of stopping.
Actually, you know what? If they had pitted on exactly the same lap, and Sebastian just made that corner, Wazzy would have
Not
been in all
Kimi,
sorts
not Kimi is getting closer and closer. He's gaining. Is Vino going to take the inside? No, and not Kimi is going to go in the inside, and surely he will take it. Here we go. Not Kimi back into third place, chasing after not Sebastian. So Matt now need to be careful. He's losing time on those worn mediums, but he will have a fresher soft, having a few more extra laps on the softs at the end, unless he's banking on that. 2.5 seconds, well 2.4 seconds between Sebastian and not Kimi. Kimi had to work for third place in the end, ultimately second place, so he's still in it there. Nismax just dropping off a little bit there from Vino, but he have a few more. Matt finally deciding to come into the pit.
I don't think this has worked in Matt's favour.
No,
It
definitely
takes
not.
about 25 seconds to do a pit stop. I think that gap was 5 seconds. I think
And
that
not-
gap's going to be closer
Kimi
to
gained-
12 seconds when he
not-
comes out.
Not Kimi gained tremendously on not Sebastian, so both of them will definitely be back in front. Here we go, Matt on his way, but not Sebastian already through. Not Kimi fastest lapper 134 also through. Matt and Vino now,
crucial
Vino
will
in
it be-
front.
How
Nismax now
crucial
in
will
front.
it be that...
Now Matt back in fifth, he's behind all of them. Pretty much where it was before they put it. Not Sebastian, Kimi. Then there's Vino there with Nismax and Matt in fifth. Oh, and Kimi now with another time penalty, so that kind of like balances out between him and not Sebastian. But still another 20 laps to go, so still possible for more of those. But Kimi getting closer to not Sebastian and Vino dropping off, which is no surprise, the soft versus the mediums. All the action pretty much between these five at the moment. Matt further down, well, John, sorry, further down, just under, little under 30 seconds. Wink is a further 26 behind him. Springbok gave a further 27 seconds behind. So some big gaps from 6 going down. Nismax gonna start the Matt very soon. Matt using those soft tyres to his advantage. Much faster tyre. Then Matt will start chasing after, you know. Nismax going to the inside. Matt gonna have to go the long way around. Side by side into that corner. Nismax giving him enough space, just going a little bit extra out of his way. In the process almost hit the barriers, but it all turned out well. But Matt through, but there's no avoiding that. He is on the soft, fresh tyre versus the 9-lap old medium. So Nismax under pressure. Nismax pretty much doing the sensible thing there. Now Matt going after Vino, and he already gained on Vino with already. If you look at the momentum there, gap definitely shrinking quickly. Battling to hold on those mediums, already 4.5 behind. Not Kimi now back on that Alfa's gearbox. These two had a good tussle for majority of the race. So, and as you said, Mr. Fernando, Well, not Fernando. We are in the same party chat, so interesting times.
Half a second, the gap at the front, then Vino 5 seconds back.
Oh, and Matt
He's
now.
got
Matt
Matt to
really.
contend with.
Matt now approaching the. Yo, sorry, but yo, the Matt's flying. Vino's going to see that
Matt's
Renault
got-
right on him in any moment now.
He's got a very fresh set of softs on that car, so he shouldn't have too many issues getting through. And did Vino just boast?
No, that was Judge. That
Okay.
was Judge, the lap
Saw
car.
what I saw there.
So you can see just riding here with Vino looking back how quick that Renault is gaining. Now that gap is shrinking. $18 laps to this. So I must say this race went quite quick, already way past halfway.
That's right, going the
Wow,
quick one.
gain, look at that massive gain in the braking zone. Oh wow.
Lost 5 drivers.
Oh, another time penalty for
And none
Sebastian.
of them resulted in a safety car. Nothing resulting in a safety car.
And safety car is switched on.
Just getting a bunch of virtual safety cars for some reason.
There we go. Matt is now really where he's going to have DRS, and he's got a nice tow here as well. So this will be pretty much straightforward for Matt. Vino staying to the inside, but there's no avoiding this. But now Matt's going to chase after those two in front, and just keep in mind, those two have a couple of time penalties each. And Matt's not really. And remember what happened last week in Abu Dhabi. It was pretty much not Sebastian in front, and thanks to time penalties, Matt leaped him at the end. So there we can have a repeat of last week.
Kimi leads from Sebastian from Matt. Vino in 4th.
And as I said,
Excellent
Matt gets
fifth.
a time penalty there. Staffy having a very lonely race with the back. 6 seconds behind Judge, 17 seconds off. So pretty much from 7th down, there's more than 5 seconds between them, so they pretty much keeping themselves company. Boinky is still 23 seconds of Jean. Jean is 3 seconds of Nismax. Nismax actually decided to bail. He didn't want to. He didn't like the mediums. Not comfortable on his mediums. Nismax made an extra pit stop and changed to the soft. So can he then use a fresh set of softs and make up some good time and jump Vino at the end? No, we didn't expect that. One car actually decided to go against what the other guys are doing, and he's going to be on the much fresher softs at the end. Nesmax possibly for fastest lap. What do you think?
That's very possible. He got off those mediums in a hurry. Didn't like them at all. Didn't have the lightest fuel, the freshest set of softs. He is a quick driver, so very possibly quickest lap.
Oh, and Kimi, sorry,
He still
unseen.
leads 1.5 seconds.
No, yeah, Kimi got past his good friend, 1.6 seconds. So can not Sebastian return the favor and put Kimi under pressure like Kimi has been doing for most of his race? Now Kimi
I think what's
experiencing the
important
pressure.
now- What's important now is for not Sebastian to stay as close as possible. I do believe that Kimi's tyres, even if they're of a similar age, I think his tyres will go off a lot faster.
It's also driving styles, yeah.
They were practicing earlier and their tyre usage was not matching up to the lap times they were doing. So Kimi was using a lot more rubber for some reason. So
yellow flag.
Look at that gap, it's already 1.9 seconds, so he is really giving it everything.
Oh, Nismax, there goes that strategy out the window. Oh, Jean Free second time penalty, so Nismax looked like he lost the back end of that Merc there. But he managed to keep it out of the barrier. Yeah, I don't see any front wing damage.
Everything looks fine on the car, but he's going awfully slowly. Is that him calling it a day, or?
Not sure. Picking up speed now, he just pulled out of the way. I think something might have happened there. Not sure if maybe a desync on the steering wheel, that's also possible. It happened before with guys. Or something that had to get his attention. It's not like you can put it on pause and just leave it so, but he is on his way, he's back up to speed. So no, not calling it a day. That's not Nismax style.
Sean now has a 20-second gap because of that those issues for Nismax. Sean in a comfortable 5th place for the time being. Vino 4th. Max still in 3rd, that gap coming down.
Definitely, he's gaining.
Catching up to the Alpha. And now remember, these 3 are on there. This is basically a sprint race to the end for these 3.
That's it.
Got the softs that should take them to the end. And Matt's going to have the freshest set.
But who's going to race for hardest and the cleanest? Oh, and another yellow flag. Nismax again, same place more or less. Something's really wrong with that Merc. He's not happy. Staffy and Judge fighting now. Staffy past Judge. Nismax going really slow.
Merc omen for the weekend?
Something's definitely not right in that Merc. That's a pity. 16th all the way up, and now he's going to be lapped by Kimi, who not too long ago had a battle with him where they pretty much were fighting for position. And now it's how quick actually things went pear-shaped. Kimi now lapping him. Yellow flag again.
3rd place. That gap 1.7 seconds now, getting closer and closer. Remember, his tyres are going to be 3 laps pressure.
Nismax dropping down the order. Driver. I think versus it, his race is now really going, and he had a fantastic race all the way from 16th into 3rd place at one stage. Now dropping all the way down again.
Something not right there.
Yvette, is je nog met ons? Oh, and Vina now 5-second penalty.
There in the comment section.
Yeah, he's been quiet for a while.
Max is having some sort of technical issue.
Okay, I'm going to say it. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to speculate on Nismax falling asleep. That's such a brilliant race. I see Vina also decided to ditch the meeting. So he's actually going to be on the freshest softs. So another twist in the tail. Okay, dankie Yvette. Thank you Yvette, that's all I wanted. That's why I asked if you're still with us. Yvette basically just confirming my initial suspicion. It is a steering wheel issue. That is a pity. We've seen this we've seen this before, where the steering wheel just let go or something with the steering wheel is not right and it buggies up the race.
Watch third. 0.6 of a second is the gap.
There we go, he's right there.
That's it now. Approaching the Alpha. The Alpha.
Yeah, then the Red Bull.
I drive an Alpha.
You should know the difference.
I don't mess that up.
Ach nee man, shit. Sorry Yvette. Het net so mooi race gehad. 16th all the way up, 3rd at one place, and now the steering wheel letting him down. And that's sad. It happened before. Really a couple of guys I mean, how many guys had pedal issues and then steering wheel, where the steering wheel let go of you in the middle of a race, where it's not
That's actually
synced or
one
whatever.
thing I've been very lucky with F1. It's happened once. It's only happened once or twice to me with Gran Turismo actually. But I've never had that issue on Project Cars or Formula One or ACC or.
But that's the last thing you want when you have a race like this.
I think it also just comes down to the wheel. What wheel it is.
Yeah, that's
it's
absolutely...
also the game. How many times do we see an update come out that says now it works properly with this wheel? And you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know there was issues.
But he must be gutted. I can only imagine.
Absolutely.
I won't blame him if he retires, but then again, it's not Nismax's stuff. He will drive it till the end. And that's where a couple of guys can actually learn from him.
Sebastian not giving up on
it's still points. He's still in points.
Yet.
11th place, 4 points.
On to second.
Yeah, Matt just not gaining fast enough in the DRS range, in the DRS zone.
That gap at the front there, 3.3, 3.4, just gonna have to watch that gap, watch if it starts to drop, watch if Kimi starts to have tire problems, that'll come later.
But can Kimi use this to his advantage while not Sebastian is holding off Matt here? Can he get away from him? Matt's going to go on the outside. Not Sebastian, send him a long way out. And again, not Sebastian. Hughes is braking very late and Matt had to go on the outside curve to get past him.
Then gets a 3-second penalty, so does the judge. Simultaneously, penalties are synchronized.
Now Matt is going to get away chasing after Kimi.
Just confirmation there from the comment section that the AI has taken over Nismax's car. Seems like that car's also done another pit stop.
Yeah, that's AI for you.
Because that car's on a fresh set of softs.
No, but remember he also...
Maybe he can get back in here with 2 laps to go and just throw in the fastest lap.
He did get into... No, he went into the pits to try and adjust the wheel. That's where the fresh tyres also came on. Still the 11 laps, so there's still points. I mean, the 11th place is points. And like you say, still the push for fastest lap, so get that extra 2 points.
As far as the bonus points are there, it's just to motivate you to keep you going.
Not Sebastian gain at the moment. No, Matt is pulling away and gaining on Kimi. Oh, time penalty for not Sebastian.
Again. 2-second time penalty. These are going to count against him, but luckily there's a huge gap between 3rd and 4th. 40 seconds is the gap. So so long as he keeps his penalties under 40 seconds, I think he should be fine.
So what was confirmed tonight? Is it Lewis Matterson or is it still Matt Hamilton?
I think we'll go with Boris.
Are you stuck on Boris?
He's just the proper Boris, this bloke. Well, he's in 2nd place. Doing a good job. Gap to the front, 2.4 seconds.
First is under
watch that gap, see if it does come down.
The first is definitely under threat.
Now remember, I mentioned Kimi's been having time management issues.
We lost Nismax, unfortunately. That is a sad one. Steering wheel letting go, so he had no choice. But still pitching up. He was a possible for the race, but he pitched up. Got 16, put it all the way, ran into 3rd at one stage. And then just for the steering wheel to drop him. Otherwise, that would have been a solid 5th place. That's where he was running it for when it happened. So always sad to see something like that. So as it is, we're down to 10 drivers. Nee, jy weet, moenie sê sorry nie, dis nie julle skuld nie, jy still put up a big fight.
Kimi leads that gap 1.9 seconds.
Oh, Matt is
Down
going
to
for
Matt.
that Red Bull. Matt's first, he
Bastian
wants to
further
drink Red Bull.
2.5 seconds down the road. It's all going to come down to how Kimi manages those tyres. And Matt's tyres are going to be just a little newer.
Vergeet 'n dubbel en 'n half, gooi vir hom 'n triple. Hy het dit nodig. Matt still coming for that Red Bull. Vino just
Top
a little
three
too
still,
far off.
top three still relatively close to each other on lap 44 or 53. 9 laps to go, and yeah, you can actually see the top three in one frame.
Yeah.
Which is it's pretty impressive.
You see
Good
there?
racing, and it's going to be close here at the end. All three on the same strategy, basically give or take a couple of laps. Same idea.
Because if you want to go for
Gets
fresher
it
rubber,
right.
you rather stop sooner than later. Because you need to leave yourself enough space to do something with those tires. Because the further you go, the more you're going to have to commit and see these tires through to the end.
It's all about the balance, you know. It's all very well like pitting 5 laps later and then getting the softs 5 laps fresher than anyone else. That makes sense, but that means you're going to have to do 5 extra laps on terrible mediums while everyone's on a fresh set of softs. So when you come out of the pits, you're going to notice like 5 or 7 or 8 seconds that weren't there. So yeah, you can get the fresh rubber at the end, but you're going to have to consolidate with the slow mediums in doing so. So 1.2 seconds, getting close now to DRS range.
And just going with what you said now, if you look at it, Vino stopped for those fresh softs a few laps ago. He's gaining, but not fast enough. So he's not going to really gain any positions towards the end. Because that's a gap of 36 seconds. And there's only, 7 laps to go after this. And that's already it's more than 4 seconds a lap that you need to try to take out of the leaders, which is not happening at the moment. So Vino pretty much 4th place. Unless of course something goes terribly wrong in front.
I think all the friendship driving is over now. It's the final stint, and now they're going to go till the end. Kimi's going to need to keep that at just over a second. He does not want the yellow car in DRS range.
Not easy.
If that car gets in DRS range, things are going to become a lot more difficult.
And that's pretty much where we are now.
If you get along the straight, and this guy's got a combination of DRS, ERS, and rich mix, there's not a lot you can do.
And of course,
not here in Russia. On this sort of straight, there's not a lot you can do to defend.
No, and we saw it several times tonight, especially that start-finish line, that straight. Because if you get the right drive out of a corner, you pick up the toe. DRS wide open, it's game, set, match.
There we go, it's dropped into the DRS zone. 0.8 of a second is the gap. So next time we get a DRS zone, we're going to see that rear wing open up. Now. And Wazzy's going to have his hands full. Hopefully he's got ERS to spare. And he's going to know the car behind him is in DRS, and he's going to be hitting overtake at the right time. Let's see.
Matt not really gaining this time.
He doesn't have a lot of ERS.
No.
So just going around the Ferrari. Oh, yeah, Ferrari. 0.8. Gonna have another go again into the second DRS zone. It's not a lot you can do when the car is already in front of you before the corner. DRS is so unfair to the defending driver.
See what Boris comes up. We will have DRS down the back straight this time as well.
It was 8 tenths, not 8 tenths anymore, it's now 6 tenths, just getting closer and closer. Go
Closer.
At that, right on the gearbox of the Red Bull.
Now he's in the right place. Now he's going to just keep it like this in the last few corners and then have DRS on that start-finish straight. And that's where you want it. And if you can get a good drive out of the corner, maybe this is it. Game, set, match.
So Christian Horner's already on the radio to Renault. Oh, now you build a decent engine.
Correct. Ooh, here we go. Much better drive.
Speaking of that, if you...
Kimi's got no answer for this. Can he outbrake him? Oh, they touched and Kimi went a bit sideways. Just a little tag there.
I see the end plate is fine. Nothing wrong with the front wing.
It was just wheel rubbing there. But Matt actually backed off and let Kimi through. That's good sportsmanship. He didn't need to because there was no mistake by him. Just they both went for the corner and he had the front line. Just Kimi pushed it very late on the brakes.
Let's have another go at this, boys. Take two.
That's it.
Without the tap.
Some good sportsmanship, good rivalry here between these two. So Matt will have a DRS again coming down the back straight. Now he just needs Sebastian to gain because it would be nice if all three of them have this.
Matt also in that party chat, so all three of those are sharing a party chat. He still leads, but nothing in it. Don't know how he's going to defend next time DRS comes around. Matt's got a bit of ERS stored up. Kimi not as much.
There we go. This should be. Here we go. Repeat coming up.
Oh yes, DRS.
Again, he's gaining. Got the toe. Again, Kimi goes to the inside. Matt going to the outside. Going a little bit further this time. What can Kimi do? Is he going to outbrake him again? Yeah, he's going to go brake late, but no touch this time. So this time it's straightforward.
No touch this time, but basically
no slagging.
Exactly the same maneuver.
No take 3 on this. This is it. Game, set, match.
So now Matt leads from Kimi. That gap already up at 6/10, so he's already opening it up. Was he's going to want to stay in DRS for as long as possible? And that Renault tow him along. And if a mistake comes, he can be close enough if he falls out of DRS. Seems like Matt's got the pace, and I wonder if it comes down to those tyres being just a little newer. That 3-second time penalty. I have no idea how many penalties. I think I had 9 or 12 by the time I retired. So
yeah, you actually racked a few tonight, which is a bit unusual. But yeah, then again, it's Russia. It's very tight here.
I'd say 90% of those were at the same place.
Can Kimi now get the toe and have DRS? Can he do something with it? Answer is no. He's just too far back. He's gaining, but not quick enough.
DRS. That DRS will just help him a little bit, just to stay closer, stay out of the reach of Sebastian. Sebastian not really able to close that gap. 5.5 seconds the gap there. It's been that for the past 2 or 3 laps. So even though these two are batting, Sebastian hasn't really made up too much ground.
Ooh, Boinkies. Row now, Boinkies with penalties. Boinkies not so squinkies anymore.
Always a headline in the comments box. Boinkies gets a penalty because he's pulled off a few stunners. I've seen timesheets where literally everyone has a penalty except him.
Yeah, and they talk about 100% races, and that's not easy to pull off.
Not easy to go through an entire race without a penalty. Just 3 laps to go. This race has really flown by. Top 2 still. Now Kimi just dropping out of that ERS.
Yeah.
DRS, sorry.
Now
too much stuff.
Too
much stuff. He's gonna battle to hold on in the last 3 laps unless there's some sort of error that comes from Matt himself. And if you've seen Matt drive before or you're familiar with his driving, mistakes aren't that common.
Nope. Match. No real battles anywhere else. This was the closest gap, but it's opening up. Boinky's past, at least for now.
Yeah, no other real fights on circuit. Judge gonna get a really good result today.
Kimi pushing hard.
He can just bring that home in the next 2 laps. It's a really nice spot there. He's done well. He's in 8th and he's ahead of Staff. 8.6 seconds ahead of Staff. So if penalties don't come into play, he should be able to hold on to that position. And then Chen making his 2nd appearance, I believe, in F1 2020. Still
getting to grip.
Getting up to speed with that. But it's understandable. He's spent so much time over on that other game.
That other game.
That other game that you buy at the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about those tubes that you drink when you have.
It's like, I have no idea. Discam. It's like, why would I buy that Discam?
Hello, because it's what you need.
ACC.
It's minus for 200.
That gap now getting comfortable. 2.2 seconds between 1st and 2nd. Matt, then Sebastian carrying on to just drop back 6.8 seconds. So
really
I think
pushing
these top 3 are pretty much decided.
Yeah, I also believe so. Penultimate lap.
I'm not gonna go and try and count penalties with 2 laps to go. We're gonna let the scorecard surprise us. Because by the time I'm done with that, the race will be over.
But I think they should. So,
I think Sebastian has racked up a few. Seen his
yes,
name a
and
few
Kimi
times.
as well. Matt as well, but if I remember correctly, the way that penalties.
Maybe once or twice.
I think it's going to stay like it is now, even with the penalties.
Still 1 battle on track. 5th place hasn't been decided just yet. Winky's very close to the back of the McLaren. Maybe a 2nd in it there with a lap to go, just over a lap to go. So can he put a Lando on the McLaren?
No, I actually see something different. Boinky go 38 seconds behind John.
Okay.
But no, I'm done because I see. I said it earlier before. Whatever is on the screen is sometimes not correct. I'm just surprised and amazed that tonight, whatever I see on screen was pretty much correct. So let's hope we can have more of the same.
Also having a few timing problems last night in that other game, but
Staff gained on Judge.
Something they're gonna need to sort out.
Staff gained on him. I mean, it was 6-7 seconds not too long ago.
Yeah, it was quite a comfortable gap, and now not so comfortable. But he just needs to go around this final lap. He needs to hold on for all it's worth to 2.2 seconds now, 2.1. Stressful times. You'll be watching that ticking down.
Matt just coming down the back, straight for the final time. Oh, Staffy with another time penalty. Really pushing under pressure, and in the meantime he gets more penalties.
There's still a bit of action there at the back. Join your leader. He's obviously on his
Final
lap.
2 corners.
And final 2 corners. So we got to him just in time. There we go. There's your final corner. There's your winner. Renault. I believe it's your winner. Wait for the timing sheets. Don't believe us yet.
Yeah, it is.
Give me second.
Top 3 will remain as is with those penalties.
When you see the checkered flag, then it's confirmed. Yeah, Sebastian. And look at those penalties.
I called
pushed him 11 seconds adrift.
Matt, Kimi and Sebastian because of penalties. That's how it remains.
Boinkies has been classified as 6th. Chen has been classified as 10th.
The last possible moment. Knocking the wing, just 2 corners, but he kept on going.
That could have been so much worse.
He could have retired there.
I've had an experience like that.
Yep.
That we shall not speak of. Oh wow. The final corner of China. I'll never forget. Now we're just waiting for 3 drivers to classify. That's Jean, Staffy and Judge.
Yeah, give us Jean basically about to lap him. Just a bit cautious.
Got a lot of ghosting on screen as a result there.
But Jean is ahead now of
Staffy going
Judge.
around. Oh, look at that. So there we go, classified 8. Jean 5th.
And that is that.
Judge picks up 9. Nicely done. Well guys, that was another 100% race that I didn't finish. Driver of the day according to the game. Well, I don't know.
I'm in a split.
Does Devin still do driver of the day?
I did say
You're doing it by yourself.
But he didn't say anything yet.
Well then he needs to have watched the whole race. Well, remember Matt did start from right at the back. Great performance, and he got the tyre strategy right. And
fastest lap in the end went to Boinkies.
These three copied each other's strategies because they were in the same qualification, so they knew this one's going out on mediums, so they picked mediums and they did it from qualifying, and they unlocked some more stuff, some more useless stuff.
10 finishes in the end.
There we go. Do you want me to just go through the final
please.
10? So obviously Matt winning that race, nicely done for Renault, Kimi second for Red Bull, not Sebastian third for Alfa Romeo, then Vino in the Alfa Tauri, Jean in the first of the McLarens, Boinkies in the Haas, Springbok Amos 7th in the second McLaren, Judge, he actually finished 8th there, so jumped ahead on penalties for Williams, Staffy 9th, and then your final finisher just disappeared, but I believe it would be Chen.
Correct.
So congratulations to the 10 finishers. Obviously we started with 16 drivers on the grid, 6 didn't make it. I was one of them, that's why I'm here. First retirement wasn't even I'm only here because the commentator didn't show up. So
he wasn't even needed to start, so technically it's not a retirement. Come on.
Wait, can we do driver interviews?
Yes, I'm sure. Nah. Especially if one is your teammate.
Yeah, no, it just wouldn't be right. So you're gonna do these, I'll just sit here and listen.
See. Give it a few more. We got our third place guy. Got our second place guy.
That guy in third, is he any good?
Yeah, but going third is here. He joined first. He had to win something
okay.
tonight.
Is he any good? I've never heard of him.
And here we go. And there's Boris. Boris! Well
Boris
done,
himself.
Boris.
Nicely done.
Again, all the way
Nice
from the
race.
back right to the front. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And when you still say that Crash
I need to
wasn't
stop
on.
doing that. I need to stop doing that.
I still
Just have too much
think.
under pressure.
I still say that Crash was staged.
I was trying to. I didn't expect to lose my wheel. Just trying to lose my rear end across the line. You know, put on a show for the crowd. And,
Showboating. Lewis.
Yeah, I ended up losing my
Boris
wheel,
Hamilton
so that was
style.
good. Boris Hamilton style, yeah. Yeah, only in Russia. And Abu
But-
Dhabi.
But yeah,
Oh wow, Boris Hamilton comes to Russia. That just got more interesting.
but those, and yeah, your competition tonight again, the same three. Boris, not and not. What the hell, guys?
I think if I crash out of qualifying again, I'm gonna get my Arthur M. Maldonado and change that account to not Boris.
Join the party.
That's a bet. That's a bet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you, Kimi, Sebastian, Holy, oh wow. Majority of the race, you two, and if you look at the gap between you two, not much gap. Yeah, and eventually it swapped around with Kimi leading, but again, the gap never really opened up.
No.
I mean,
I
come
was
on, you must
pushing
be.
hard.
Yes.
Pushing hard, smelling alpha exhaust fumes the whole race. But yeah, I was sweating, but it was good fun.
And just
Yeah.
for Boris to come at the end, and,
No, I knew he was coming. I knew even before we pitted, I saw this Reynolds coming. So I tried to stick behind Muna as close as I can and try build up some ERS and fuel to defend against him because I knew he's gonna catch.
and we really fought him, and he stopped like 2-3 laps later. I mean, it actually looked good for Not Sebastian stopping a lap earlier because he cleared Vino and Nisbex. You, of course, had to fight him on track to get past. And then, of course, Boris, 2-3 laps longer, and that gap just kept getting smaller and smaller. And when he came out of the pits, all of you, 2 plus Vino and Nisbex were in front of him. And it pretty much looked like, oh, wow, Boris going to have a tough time. But clearly not.
No, I was actually wanting to stop like 2 laps later, but I knew Matt was gaining like half a second a lap on me, and I knew if I box the same lap as him, I'm gonna end up behind him, and then I've got no chance. My only chance would be in front and trying to defend, which went alright for like 3 laps, and yeah, it was finished.
But slipstream and stuff at Renault, with illegal brake ducts and stuff, is working perfectly.
I want him to submit a birth certificate from Earth and the next race. You know.
Just got my driving license back. I lost my driving license. I don't know where I've lost it. And
But you fly spaceships.
Yeah, it's not from Earth.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
No.
Yeah.
Boris didn't give you that one.
EU.
But give me, I say, what a lap for Paul, the first and only guy to get into the 130s.
Yeah, look, I didn't actually want to start in front because I know everybody will slipstream me. But you know, at the end of the day, pole position is what, like 5 points, 6 points. It
Yeah.
helps at the end of the day. So yeah, I was gunning for it.
And you and Not Sebastian on those mediums at the start actually had a good start. Much better start than some of the guys on the softs.
Yeah, the start was quite a weird one. I thought the soft runners will, pressure me, which they did. Force had a good start.
Forza also had a brilliant start.
Yeah. So turn 1, we were side by side. I tried to leave him space. He went a bit wide. Then he obviously passed me, and he must have gotten an illegal overtake because I saw him slowing down. So I passed him on the racing line, got into the braking zone, and I felt a thud.
Yeah, he ran
And it
into the
was-
back of you, and that was his
Yeah.
front wing gone. And pretty much immediately a retirement.
Ah, okay. I thought so because I felt the thud. Because I didn't break early or anything. I actually braked a little bit late, but yeah, it pushed me wide a little bit, and that gave Muna a little bit of a gap. But yeah. And then it was me and him against the soft runners in that first stint. And to break the DRS was cock hard. And
But I
then
must say,
Vino, I don't know. he
yeah,
was
Vino
like
put you guys. Yeah, Vino was racy tonight.
He was, making a sweat there at the front.
But yeah, not Sebastian. Absorbing the pressure there in the beginning, everybody coming for you, especially not Kimi, but yeah, you kept your own and you basically, until pretty much when you put it, you kept it all together, absorbed the pressure and kept your gap.
Yeah,
As well.
eventually I could see Wazzy was a quicker. The same with Matt. So it was just about a matter of time before they would catch. So
But you kept him at bay for a long time, actually.
no, I did. I wanted to see how much I could, and if I could actually build that gap, but it wasn't happening. It was just the same. So I thought, let me rather not compromise anyone and just let him through and just, yeah.
Still points, of course. All you need is just to get that point on the board.
No, of course. Dude, I can't complain.
Of course, as
Not
much
at
as
all.
we say round 5, this is only the 4th race, with the 3rd one to be still rerun, so still a long way to go.
Yeah.
We just need Matt to showboat in the race itself and lose a wheel. Or, actually, all 4 wheels would be good.
I nearly did on the last corner. I thought, no, I'm not going to, just in case. So I just did a mini one instead.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our man, Boris. So my normal commentating friend is MIA tonight, thanks to Eskom. So, and my, how can I say, the standing commentator if I want. Of course, wasn't really planned, but thanks, Jono. He's not going to make this call, so it's going to be all me tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, driver of the day. I'm in a split decision. Both of them made some good places. Both came from the back. An unbelievable sportsmanship. So I can't really put the one ahead of the other, so I'm going to go split on driver of the day today. So driver of the day, Boris and Nismax.
No, well deserved.
I'm gonna take mine off and give it to Nismatch as well. So there you go.
Because he had a brilliant race. It's just unfortunately at the end he had some issues with the steering wheel. That is why he fell back. Steering wheel crashed on him. That's why. And he had to give up in the end because he couldn't fix it. And we all know Nismax is no quitter.
No, not at all.
So that just shows how bad the steering wheel bug it. So yeah. So that's my drivers of the day. Split decision, Matt and Nismax.
Lekker. It's well done to them. Thanks for the stream, guys.
No, and thank you guys for the entertainment. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's your top 3. Boris, Kimi and Sebastian.
Like a mega.
Sorry.
You had to tell me,
69.
let's go to a party. Boris, Kimi, and Sebastian's gonna be there. Yeah. party.
But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, next week, same time, same place, and a new track actually on the TNB calendar. We're heading off to Zandvoort next week, same time, same place as I said. Till then, of course, keep safe, take care, and hopefully Uncle Cyril will speak to us soon and he comes with good news. Till then, see you guys on the other side. Have a good one. Bye bye.